So we warned you guys it was going to be a tough week. I just didn't realize it was going to hit so close to home. So another shooting at a Navy base, this time Pensacola, Florida. Now, not only is this another naval base, but it happens to be my other another base I was stationed at for a substantial amount of time. Well, not exact base, but from that, like, detached, same exact idea. Like the whole thing with Pearl Harbor, I was at NSGA Kenia, but stationed out of Pearl Harbor. You know what I mean? But this one stationed out of NAS, or Naval Air Station Pensacola, but at Corey Station, Cryptologic Training Center. So yeah, this is like crazy. And the thing is, one thing that people should know, I get some insight about this. By the way, the first, let me give the report. The gunman's dead. There is also 3 confirmed dead. It went from 1 and like 2 critical to 2 and 1 critical to 3 dead and multiple injured. So we have 3 dead, multiple injured, and the shooter dead. So altogether, there's 4 people have died in the event, but 3 victims, and multiple injured as well. Again, this is at NAS, or Naval Air Station Pensacola. It blew my mind when, one of the places I was stationed, Pearl Harbor, although I was at the NSGA Kenia, but stationed out of Pearl Harbor. And now another base I was stationed at. And I'm not saying this has anything to do with it's just a coincidence, but it's just a crazy coincidence. How you doing? So, yes, where I was stationed at was actually Corey Station, and that's also off of NAS Pensacola. So this is like, I knew it was gonna be a crazy week. I warned you guys. I just didn't realize that it was going to be. I just didn't realize it was going to be this crazy and hit this close to home. So I'm sorry, guys. You know what? Drop off paperwork at school, and I figure it drops off in the way. Here you go. As soon as possible, please. What was the question? Yeah. Thank you. So, yeah, I knew it was gonna be in that Q stream. I said it's gonna be potential famous people, famous like iconic famous, like, with the know-how. This isn't the time and place. I'll talk about it later. It's crazy. I'm on the bridge a few days ago. I'm pretty sure I reported it. But anyways, the whole word was like something like it happens to be, and they actually showed the guy whose job it is to say it when she eventually dies, and it's London Bridge. And this see what. So I said it's either gonna be Queen Elizabeth. I know that Jimmy Carter was having some problems, although I don't know. I don't know. Jimmy Carter, I wouldn't be 100% sure would have something, only because remember when George Bush 41 died, he was the only one out of all of them that didn't get envelopes. Although, the envelopes went to the wives, and there was none for him. All the wives got the envelopes. The only one who, Hillary Clinton got an envelope, and she kind of was her own thing. And anyway, so yeah, it's just so nuts because this is where the Blue Angels are stationed, by the way, and this isn't your typical air base. This is like anything to do with naval air. Is you're trained there. So 80% of the people there, outside of the instructors or people who join the Navy at a later age, which happens often, but compared to, like I said, overwhelming majority join out of high school. So most of them are 18, 19, and they're fresh out of boot camp. So, in Pearl Harbor, though, that's not necessarily the case. They do have some training, but it's more like advanced training, like a C school type training. This is like A school. Like, you get out of boot camp, and Pensacola, along with Great Lakes, are the two biggest places where you're sent. If you have anything to do with if you're gonna be on an aircraft carrier, anything to do with aviation. So whether it be AO ordnance, the air crew, which is actually like a real serious thing, like serious training. My buddy was there. It was kind of cool. We went in together. Our third buddy went to Great Lakes, or stayed in Great Lakes, because that's also where boot camp is for his. And then he went to the air station. I checked in at the air station. They sent me 2 miles away to the Cryptologic Training Center, Corey Station. So yeah, when I got my clearance, I did my A school there, I did my C school there. Pensacola has always been a special place, and my I was 18, 19. I was there for that long. So 18 and 19, I was there. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Right before Katrina hit. Like literally, like right before Katrina. But there was I remember, like, from there going to New Orleans, the last one at all, not even like a second. Well, that's a lie. I did get like probably like 45 minutes, but so I got about 45 minutes sleep, but still, it doesn't even bother me. It's like, I guarantee you the ages of these kids is going to be so young, and they're going to be like boot camp, and that's it. Depending on how far along they were in their training, that'll determine if they were in for 6 months or a year, basically. So we're talking young sailors were most likely killed. Unless, it doesn't mean that you don't have older, higher ranking people or older recruits. Or by then they might be, they might even be E2, E3 by then. But most of them are seaman recruit. Trying to give you guys, like I said, Blue Angels station out of there. Basically anything to do with naval air, it comes out of there. Training, all the training. Very strategic base. Another strategic base, just as Pearl Harbor is extremely strategic, as is Pensacola Naval Air Station, and they call it NAS, Naval Air Station Pensacola, or NAS Pensacola. So 2 extremely strategic bases hit. I don't get it. I'm trying to figure out. This isn't a coincidence. I mean, we already. That's why I made sure to go out on a limb, even though it's not easy to go on a limb and say. And then next week, a bunch of big things are gonna happen outside of the impeachment. That's all distractions, but like big events, and I got very specific deaths, high-profile deaths, and potential FFs or attacks. And they'll be at, and if they are attacks, they'll be at like iconic places or iconic, it's something. And well, these would be iconic places, and not just that, but and I said like strategic location, or important places. Well, these are all 3. And they're not soft targets at all. And you would think, I mean, after what happened, to do them so that close to each other, after what happened in Oahu, at Pearl Harbor, I mean, every single Navy base in the world, U.S. Navy base in the world, especially in the United States, just in the world, period, is going to be on high alert. The way that they kind of check certain vehicles, the way they go about things, they'll take a couple extra security measures at a checkpoint potentially, a lot of things. And the fact that he was able to kill that many people, now mind you, there's still a lot of armed men around, but it is more of a training center than anything. That's not to say that there's not actual, pilots flying out of there. I mean, like I said, the Blue Angels are out of there. But for the most part, a lot of it is training at Pensacola, NAS, Pensacola. So it's very, very odd that it would happen so close to this other one. And yet it was even more deadly. More dead and multiple injured. Anyways, it's supposed to be a press briefing. Supposedly a press briefing is supposed to be at 1 o'clock my time, 12 o'clock Central Time, because I remember it was Central Time despite being in Florida, because it's what we still called Floribama. That's where it's located, by the way, in Florida. It's like as west as you can go almost in Florida. And like right in between Alabama, and then just to the west is Mississippi and Louisiana. So makes you think, like what would make them think that? I just got word, this isn't confirmed. Well, let me see. This isn't confirmed, but they're saying, I just got word that the shooter was a student of Saudi heritage. So, and I'm, I would say, I'm not gonna confirm until I see unless it's like one of my sources, I'm not gonna, but it's somebody that is a credible person and a very smart person, and I don't think he'd go out and put that out there for nothing. So I'm not just gonna say unconfirmed. It is unconfirmed, but most likely, yeah, it's true. Saudi student, as I said, there's a lot of training there. A lot of students. I was actually thinking to myself, wonder if the shooter is a student, because sometimes by then boot camp they could have kind of slipped through the cracks. I think I already mentioned this. They could have kind of slipped through the cracks, and there might have been some signs, but the fact that he's Saudi, let's be honest, I mean, the Navy plays things by the numbers, and it's not, they don't, they don't, it doesn't matter, if you're of a certain origin, Muslim, and, yeah, they might keep a closer eye on you, but maybe slip through the cracks. And then again, from what I'm hearing, it's a new Navy. I heard something yesterday that I never heard of called timeouts. You can take timeout during training. That was not around when I was in. And it's not like I was in back when I was in, when we no, it's like I was in not that long ago. What, 15 years, not 14 years. And when I was in Pensacola, 15 years ago. That's why. So I was in Pensacola 15 years ago. So that's when I left, at least. I was also there 16 years. So anyways, so yeah, a Saudi did this. A Saudi student, obviously aviation student. I don't have word as to if it was aviation ordnance or that's AO or aviation. I'm trying to remember them all. There's so many. Like A this, A that. Aviation. I'm trying. Like I said, I'm not asleep. Aviation. There's so many different ones too. It could be, air crew, but then again, that could be a multitude of things. I don't think it was air crew. It could be many things. I'm trying to think of the name of the guys. Like, for instance, they all have a different color jacket. I think the AOs are the red jacket. I'm not sure. I've never been on I was on a station on an aircraft carrier. But yeah, there's like literally so many rates, or like in other branches, MOS, that is aviation. So I can't believe, then again, like I said, I didn't sleep after the stream last night. But yeah, anyways, regardless, all right, he was an aviation student for whatever he was doing. And yeah, he's the one who did this. Which explains how he got on the base so easy. Doesn't explain the number dead, right, and wounded as well, when these Navy bases are on such high alert. Because, believe it or not, all Navy bases are very important. Now, of course, Navy ships, actual, ships, those command structures, those are extremely important. Most of all being the carriers. But who's gonna man the carriers if, let's say, I don't know, anyone who's on that carrier where they were trained, whether it be, I believe the pilots must be trained there as well. Whether it be pilots, the people who load the weapons, the people who store the weapons, the people who, direct them, the signal men, or not signal men, something totally different, but the ones who kind of send them off, and they're in the yellow jackets. I forget what their second layer is, but it's all A something. And then, anything to do with an aircraft carrier, which is the most important piece of naval equipment, which is why we send carrier strike groups. And they protect those carriers with all types of other ships, as we reported before when they were heading over to Iran. Except I told you this is just show of force. Nothing's gonna happen. Other channels told you they put out alerts saying as soon as they get there they're gonna start shooting. Again, irresponsible and incorrect. There's a certain thing like I feel like kind of going on. Like I just feel like flipping out about right now, according to a certain YouTube. I'm not gonna do it. Guys, like pray for these men. Pray for men and women. Um, we don't know the age. We don't know the rank. We don't know if they were students. We don't know if they were instructors. We don't know if they were pilots. We don't know what yet. I know the original news conference was supposed to be at their local time, which is Central Time, so that's 12. And then it got pushed back to 12:30, which is in another 15 minutes or so. I would tune in on you. You can tune in on YouTube, check it out, and get the latest. Either that, or I'll just I might even just go live again and I'll broadcast it. Do you guys want that? I could do that real easy because I know one station where I could do it where it won't be a problem. So yeah, we'll go about that. Very sad day. And it's just I'm just tired, but tired's one thing. To be honest, it's hitting close to home, and it's just a total coincidence. Obviously, I mean, see, the crazy, like a true crazy conspiracy theorist would be like, "Oh, this somehow has something to do with me." Like, it's like, those are the people who give truth as a bad name. This just happens to be too popular, like, two of the biggest naval bases we have, and most important. One, because of location. The other, because without its training, who's going to man the aircraft carriers? Our most important equipment. When I say most important, I'm aware, yes. Any submariners out there, don't worry, I didn't forget about you. The submarines are extremely important, but I would put them number 2 behind the aircraft carriers. Anyways, with that, may these shipmates rest in peace, and Red Pill News Dispensary. I'll be back soon as they go live.